Hey y'all, welcome back to Babeinlibrary. It's your girl Lisa, and today we're going to discuss my 5-star predictions for the year. So recently I just finished reviewing all of the books that I needed to for my last 5-star prediction video, so you all should be seeing that shortly. But I have an entirely new stack of books here waiting for me to discover whether or not they're 5-star. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start with some historical books, then move into some emotional reads, followed up by some best friends to lovers, and then lastly, just something that's giving me the vibes of a 5-star. Starting with historical, I plan on meeting Queen Beverly Jenkins in 2024 at a Polycon, so I feel like it is my duty to go ahead and read her backlist. And the one book I know for sure that everyone loves is Indigo. This is an Underground Railroad romance between Hester Wyatt. She is an escaped slave who has dedicated her life to the Underground Railroad. She has recently been asked to hide this man called the Black Daniel. Now, the Black Daniel has also been dedicating his life to helping freed slaves, and he has a bounty on his head. And so Hester and the Black Daniel tend to have, it looks like, a little bit of a misunderstanding, but as things go on and as the tension rises, these two fall in love, and I've heard amazing things about this, so I want to be able to read this for myself and be able to hype up Indigo and hopefully get this signed. I would love to get the original copy, but I'll start here and then hopefully I can find the original copy, later on before I get to meet Beverly. Keeping on with historical themes, I want to read The House of Eve by Sadika Johnson. I've seen plenty of people read this. This came out this year and everyone has given it a 5-star. This is a Reese's Book Club pick. I've also got the other book by Sadika, which is known as Yellow Wife, that I will be reading this year as well. But this one is the one that I'm going to give the 5-star prediction. I believe this is set in the 1950s in Philadelphia. You've got two female main characters and essentially their lives cross paths. And it's all centered around motherhood. So it says, in the 1950s, Philadelphia 15-year-old Ruby Pearsall is tracked to become the first ever family member to attend college, in spite of having a mother more interested in keeping a man than raising a daughter. But a taboo love affair threatens to pull Ruby back down into the poverty and desperation that has been passed on to her like a birthright. Now you've got Eleanor Quarles arrives in Washington, D.C. with ambitious secrets. And when she meets the handsome William Pride at Howard University, they fall madly in love. But William hails from one of DC's elite, wealthy Black family, and his parents don't let anyone enter their fold. Eleanor hopes that a baby will make her finally feel at home in William's family and grant her the life she's been searching for. But having a baby and fitting in is easier said than done. So I think I'm going to love this one simply because it has some of that familiar vibes in terms of rich, wealthy people, outcast. It also has some historical cross-reference. You get to see quite a bit when it comes to the livelihoods of Black women in the 1950s. Some of them are searching for adventure in the terms of wifehood, and then you've got other that are searching it for education. So I'm very interested to pick this up, see if I like it as well. Now, moving into some emotional reads, one rec that I've seen time and time again is Ali Martinez From the Embers. This, I have a feeling, is going to emotionally break me. This says it's in the aftermath of tragedy. It's a strange thing you remember. The deafening boom as the house exploding. The paralyzing fear as I search for my wife. The blinding smoke burning my eyes as I carry her out. But carved into my soul for the rest of my days would be the earth-shattering realization that the woman in my arms wasn't my wife. So Bree and I were the only survivors, not that either of us were truly living after that night. As a single dad with nowhere else to go, I've moved into a guest home, and somehow through the guilt and grief, we forged an unlikely team. It took years, but I watched the gradual return of her smile. The two of us could sit outside for hours talking about nothing, and it's filled the massive hole in my chest with new life. I may have carried her out of that fire, but the truth was, Bree saved me. As we healed, the secrets and lies of the past smolders and the ashes threatened to ignite again. Our love was born from the embers, and together we would go up in flames. Just that synopsis alone gives me chills. This is a romance between neighbors who have experienced a tragedy together. I think they were having a game night and their children were being babysat by someone else. In the midst of this, a fire breaks out in the home, and the male main character pulls out a woman thinking that that's his wife when it's actually his neighbor's wife, who he happens to be friends with. From there, they have to restart their lives together and try to piece and have a collective unit for their children who have all experienced a loss with a missing parent. And so through that, they have this emotional connection and this emotional bond that turns into a romance. And I'm hoping that I love this one because it sounds absolutely heart-wrenching, but in a way that only Ali Martinez can mold back together. Now, emotional in a different sense in terms of messy vibes, you're going to get a love letter from Whiskey by Candy Steiner. This will be my first Candy Steiner book. I'm sure I am setting the bar extremely high. It says, "It's crazy how fast the buzz comes back after you've been sober for so long. Whiskey stood there on my doorstep just like he had 1 year before, except this time there was no rain, no anger, no wedding invitation. It just was. It was just him, the old friend and the easy smile, the twisted solace wrapped in glittering bottle. It was just me, the alcoholic, pretending like I didn't want to taste him, realizing too quickly that the months of being clean didn't make me crave him any less. But we can start here. No, to tell the story right, we need to go back to the beginning, back to the very first drop. This is my love letter to Whiskey. I hope he reads it." This is a friends situation where they have always loved each other. It just was the right person, wrong time. And through the midst of it, they've begun to hurt each other and get back, knowing that this is the love of their life. They just can't be with them. And it's some sort of angsty romance that always has a love triangle in it until it doesn't. And so I'm hoping that love letter to Whiskey will be my foray into Candy Steiner, and that me setting the bar high, I can only go up from here. I have quite a bit of books of hers on my blacklist that I want to read, but Love Letter to Whiskey is the one that I will be starting with. Now, continuing on that Friends to Lover train, I have a 5-star prediction by Kennedy Ryan. And that's going to be The Queen Move. So this is the third in a separate standalone part of the Kingmaker series. So I do plan on reading the Kingmaker series because I do have both on their shelves, but really I want to get to Queen Move. I hear Kennedy talk about this book quite a bit, and the stunning cover does not let me down. This tells me that if nothing else, this is going to be a 5-star vibe. A, because it's Kennedy Ryan. B, because I love the cover. And C, because it is Friends to Lovers. So it says, "The boy who always felt like mine is the man I can't have." So this, I assume, is probably a cheating trope, which does not bother me. I do know it bothers a lot, but it says, "Dig a little and you'll find photos of me in the bathtub with Ezra Stern. Get your mind out of the gutters. We were 6-month-old. Pry and one of us may confess we saved our first kiss for each other. The most clumsy, wet, sloppy, spectacular 30 seconds of my adolescence. Get into our business and you'll see two families closer than blood torn apart in an instant. 20 years later, my awkward duckling best friend from childhood, the boy no one noticed, is a man no one can ignore. Finer, fiercer, and smarter. Tell me it's wrong. Tell me the boy who always felt like mine is the man I can't have. When we find each other again, each stands in our way, secrets, lies, and promises. But we didn't come this far to give up now, and I know just the move to make if I want to make him mine." So again, if there's anyone that's going to be able to do this trope justice, it is Kennedy Ryan. She has proved it time and time again. So I have no reason to doubt that Queen Move will be a 5-star for me. This one is probably a little unknown, but I'm hoping to A, put it on the map, and B, to love it. This is going to be Denisha Little's Kiss My Scars, which is also a Friends to Lovers trope. I think that will be a 5-star for me, simply because it says high school seniors Tashina T. Hilton and Terrence T.D. Dunn, also known as TNT, have been best friends and neighbors since the age of 5. Tashina has spent most of her life feeling like her mother's biggest mistake and abandoned her unidentified father. In her senior year, she finds solace while performing on stage and through a budding new relationship with TD's teammate, a relationship that TD does not approve of. Terrence has trained his entire life to become a basketball pro and looking forward to fulfilling that dream at Killian State University. While coasting through his senior year, his relationship with his girlfriend is tested when she challenges the friendship with T. T and T knows everything about each other except the one thing that T is afraid to share. A surprise birthday gift leads to uncovering a dark secret, which leads two friends to embark on a summer road trip with hopes of finding answers. What they don't expect are the new questions that will arise on their journey. So from my understanding, I'm assuming that this is going to be a road trip romance where they go to look for Tashina's father, who has been missing out of her life. And she just wants closure, and she wants to get to know that piece of her a part of her life that has been missing this entire time. So her best friend Terrence decides to go on the road trip with her. But of course, neither one of their partners are happy because they feel like there's always been something between the two. And lo and behold, it sounds like there may be, and I am so interested to read this one and see for myself. This one is giving me all of the vibes. Like I said, I've got my best friends or childhood friends to lovers. I've got some emotional romances. I've got some historical, but these next two are purely vibes. Partly because of the authors and how much they've done such a great job of marketing on social media. And they're both got purple covers, which is my favorite color. So that being said, the first one is going to be A Unique Space for Us by Chantel Monique. This, I believe, is a paranormal romance that has a little bit of mystery element to it. So you've got cop by day, college professor by night, Detective Fellowship Darcy loves warm whiskey, anonymous hookups, and working the desperate streets of Pawville, Metropolis, Human District. What does she hate? Beer, needy men, and the magical wealth-amassing snobs who live in the Seacrest Metro District. Now, Detective Hyphen may be one of the wealthiest families in Seacrest, but he'd rather wear an off-track suit than fall victim to this species' arrogant elitist BS. That's why he's dating a secret socialite. He has no effing idea. When a string of unprecedented human-on-egg murders plague the city and one of Fellowship's students is named as a suspect, she files to do whatever it takes to find the true culprit. As Fellowship and Hyphen work together, being in each other's presence creates a unique space for them to connect in an unexpected, meaningful way. As their bond strengthens, their undeniable attraction becomes difficult to dismiss. Even being together is forbidden by law. This has a little bit of fantasy, paranormal elements. I'm going to put up a video clip of Chantel marketing this on social media just so you can see what the vibes are and why I think this will be a 5-star romance for me. And lastly, my last 5-star prediction is going to be Colliding with Fate by A.E. Valdez. Now, if you've been following me on this channel, you all know that I am an A.E. Valdez stan, and so I figured it is due time for Kyrell and Quinn's romance. So this one says, Kyrell Knight believes life is a game to be played and thoroughly enjoyed. He rarely takes anything seriously, lives in the moment, and indulges in as much pleasure with women as possible. But the sarcasm, money, and women are attempting to erase the memories of the past. He tries to forget where he comes from. It works until the past wants to be a part of his present. Now, Kyrell reconnects with Quinn Halifax at their mutual best friend's engagement party. They spark up a friendship that quickly turns to flames when it becomes a superficial, no-strings-attached relationship. Kyrell is struggling with his past while Quinn is trying to secure her future. Neither is looking for more, but fate has other plans. What will happen when two people collide with fate? So this is a friends to lovers, but no strings attached. So mainly friends with benefits situation that truly calls for them to elevate their relationship and take it to the next level. I actually love both of these characters independently, so I have nothing but the greatest hopes to believe that I'll love them as a couple. That being said, because I have so many purple covers, I want you all to do me a favor. Either leave me a purple heart, or because two of these books discuss whiskey, I'm going to have you all leave me a glass of whiskey. That being said, I'm hoping that these are 5-star reads. If you've read any of them and you think they're 5-star reads, drop them in the chat below, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye.